So, welcome everyone to the last day of January. It's hard to believe it's already happening, that it's going to be February 1st tomorrow. Feels like January 1st just came. But we're happy that you're here. The whole purpose of this evening, this next half an hour, is to celebrate you and your successes. And each of you, as you share your inspiration, or your celebration, you're inspiring the other people who are wondering if it's possible and if they can have those successes. So, be bold. We're about successes here, and our program is amazing. It does work for everyone, but sometimes you're too shy to share. But tonight's theme is going to be on movement, healthy movement, and as you're thinking about that and you're going through your Habits of Health book, that's a very important part of health. It's not, our weight loss is not dependent on the movement during our 5-in-1 stage, but it is a habit of health that we want to work in very quickly as we start to get energy. And so tonight, to share our habit of health, we have Randy, who is going to come on and share with us what our Habits of Health book says. And Randy, come on in from Indiana, and we'd love to hear from you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Paula. I really do appreciate the opportunity to share, and I specifically want to talk about a topic that I thought I knew a lot about, and I do like exercise, and I always thought I understood how it related to the 5-in-1, and but apparently I didn't. And I had a lot to learn when I actually started preparing for all this. And so last week we talked about NEAT, which is the non-exercise activity thermogenics, and those are things that you can basically do that, standing, stance, posture, things that burn a lot of calories just in your everyday, but they're really not considered exercise. So today we just thought we would talk a little bit about exercise and how it relates to the 5-in-1. And again, like I was thinking that I understood how exercise played into all this. And there's 5 things I want to cover tonight, and I'll try to do my best to keep it to 10 minutes. But the first thing is I do want to talk about the role of the exercise in the 5-in-1 itself. Number 2, I want to talk about the myth, that we're going to destroy the myth that exercise is the primary way to lose weight. So we're going to talk about that. Number 3, we're going to talk about the challenges that we're all going to face when we're on this 5-in-1 as it relates to exercise when we're further down the road. And number 4, I want to talk about what specifically is happening in our bodies, what's going on, and so we better understand why exercise could be detrimental if you were to try to do that on the 5-in-1. And then in number 5, I want to talk about how and when do we incorporate exercise in, because exercise is beneficial. It's not to say we don't want you to exercise. It's just we need to do it at the appropriate time. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So let's talk about the first area. What is the role of exercise in the 5-in-1? And so let's start with when you're just getting started. You get that fat burn mode, and you're feeling good, and you're feeling excited, and you start getting some energy. We like that. You do feel like you want to start moving, and we do encourage that. But we really need to be careful not to just start. Let's say I'm going to do a 5K or something, and I'm going to explain a little bit later why that could be harmful or counterproductive to when you're in the 5-in-1 and you're trying to lose weight. And again, this is as much for me as it is everybody on the call, because I thought this would be great to go ahead and say, hey, I'm losing weight, feeling good, and I'm just going to go out and just be a weekend warrior. And so I'm going to talk a little bit more about why that is counterproductive. And so you feel good and you want to exercise, but we say, hold off, be careful with that, because you can actually, this is what I didn't realize. You can actually kick yourself out of fat burn mode by exercising. All right. It just didn't, I think it took me a while to figure that out, because, we think of kicking ourselves out of fat burn by eating a piece of cake or something that's not on plan. But I never knew that you could kick yourself out of fat burn by over exercising. So that to me was a new concept that I had to keep, understanding for myself. So I get this. So if I say that a couple times as I do this, it's because it's hard for us to comprehend that truth. So remember, the rule of thumb is when you're starting to do the plan, we want you to hold off 3 to 4 weeks before you really start doing any kind of exercise. If you're coming into the 5-in-1 for the first time and you haven't been a big exerciser, we just say you're actually getting permission, which is kind of cool, to not exercise. How cool is that? You don't have to exercise or start any type of exercise regimen to lose the weight. So the key word for that I want you to focus on is gradual. We want you to be gradually implementing exercise. And when I say gradual exercise, mild, like walking, maybe you start doing a little bit faster or brisk walk. Those are the type of things we want you to do, and maybe some core strengthening exercises. But that's the kind of things that we want you to do when you're in the weight loss mode. And so if you're a long ways from your goal weight, I would almost say don't even worry about exercise. I mean, really, I think I just want you to understand you have permission to not exercise, because there will be a place for exercise. It's just not when you're really in the weight loss mode, okay? And again, this is counterintuitive. And so that's number one. That's how we look at the 5 and 1, and it relates to exercise. So let's talk about number 2, the myth. The myth is that we will only lose weight if we exercise. And I think I started thinking about, why do we all have that belief? Because everything that I'm reading shows it's totally opposite. It's totally opposite. It's not because of exercise you lose weight, it's because of your diet. And so why do we believe that? Where did that come from? And part of me, I think, well, let's look at the show Biggest Loser. And I know it's a great show, but when you think about what these folks are being asked to do, they're basically killing themselves on the treadmill. They're basically lifting weights, and they're not. I know there's a diet part of it, but they don't really emphasize that as much as they do just losing weight on the exercise portion. And the part of that I think is harmful is that if you are heavy and you see that and you think, man, the only way I'm going to get the weight off is if I kill myself in the gym. And so that does more harm than good for people that are really struggling. So I think that's where the myth is, to say I have to do that to lose the weight. So I'm going to try to destroy the myth here tonight. So with a show of hands, how many people have lost weight and did not do any exercise? With a show of hands. Anybody? Okay. I see a lot of hands. Okay. So right there, that tells me, and my wife also, she's always reminding me, see, I'm not doing exercise and I'm losing weight. So I think we destroyed the myth. I think we all need to know we don't have to do this extra. We do exercise for other reasons. Okay. So number 3, let's talk about the challenges that we're going to face with when we're on the plan. So when you get down to, let's say, 3 or 4 months into the plan, you're really going to start feeling good. You're really going to have a lot of energy. But you still have to be careful, because that desire to do the mini marathon or that desire to do the 5K, you got to be careful, because if you're in weight loss mode, that's going to do more harm than good on the 5 and 1 plan. You have to remember, are you in weight loss mode, or are you going to try to do exercise to gain strength and other things and cardiovascular work? So that's the challenge. We're going to have to know that at some point you're really going to want to do some things, and that's where you still have to use judgment and wisdom to say, I got to hold off. Okay, so number 4, let's talk a little bit about what's happening in your body and why this is so important to understand this. So when you think about, let's think of your body as a furnace, and your body is burning fuel all the time. And our goal is to get our bodies to continue to fight, use the fuel of our fat versus store fat. That's what the state of ketosis really is. And when you over-exercise, it's like you're pouring gasoline on that fire, and it burns up all those meal replacements very quickly. And next thing you know, your body's saying, okay, those are gone, because you already over-exercised. You've burned it all off. Now where is it going to go? It's got to go to muscle, right? So this is basically, you could just kick yourself out of fat burn, and now all of a sudden you're doing exactly the opposite of what the 5 and 1 was intended to do. You're going after muscle instead of fighting the fat. So again, I didn't realize how this has affected me, and I've been doing that. And so it's really important to understand why you want to stay away from the aggressive exercise in the weight loss mode. And then your body will actually kick right back into starvation or protection mode because you over-exercised. And then, and this might be some of the people on the call here, you might be feeling very hungry and start craving carbs and all the things, because your body's craving the fuel because you just, put it through some vigorous exercise. Again, so some of the people on this Zoom call, you just ask yourself, if you're feeling hungry and you're craving carbs, ask yourself, did I overdo the exercise? Okay. And that might be the very thing that you say, I got to back it off. All right. The other part of this is what about people that are exercise folks that are coming to the program? And if you're an exerciser, the way you know you're an exerciser is if you've actually worked, let's say you work out 3 to 4 times for the past few months when you come to the 5 and 1. If you've done that, that's been your pattern, you're an exerciser. If you're not working out 3 to 4 times a month for the past few months, you are a non-exerciser. So if you're an exerciser person, we ask you to back it off on 50% for the very same reasons we tell the non-exerciser to stay away from exercise until you get to like a maintenance or a transition phase. And so the last part is I really do want to talk about when do we add in exercise. Exercise is really when you have lost the weight and you're in a transition or maintenance mode. And that's when you start going towards something more aggressive. And then when you're in maintenance, you can go after it, you can exercise all you want, but you're really now able to put on more muscle, and the muscle will actually be more, you can eat more carbs, and there's other things that you can do in that phase, but you always have to be careful not to add the exercise in too much too soon. And that is pretty much it. I just wanted to kind of emphasize the fact we like exercise good. It's just, let's be careful when we're doing it on the 5 and 1, and understand that it will just basically take you where you don't want to go if you're not careful. So those are my thoughts. And I'll just I want to turn it over to Megan so she can help really with more on the success calls for the clients that are on the call to share some of the successes that we've had. So anyway, Megan, you out there?
Yes, I was just getting rid of my toddler who's making lots of noise.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So I would love to hear, thank you, first of all, Randy, for that. I would love to hear how everyone is doing. I can't believe the first month of the year is almost over. So how's everyone doing in their health journeys and where they're at? I'd love to hear some non-scale victories. So if any of you want to hop off mute and get started, I would love to hear what's going on in your world. Don't be shy.
Don't be shy.
Hey, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Okay. Couple things. I'm sure sorry I had to miss Thursday night, but I did have
That's okay, Mike. We'll have another one.
Okay, no, but what I wanted to tell you is this. I've lost 22 pounds this month, my first month.
Yay!
Which is excellent. But you know what? I was walking 3 miles a day, 5 days a week. I have a feeling I would have lost more if I wouldn't have been doing that after hearing Randy talk. So I'm going to back that off and not do that. And I also noticed the last 3 days, I was feeling kind of wrung out and tired, and I was craving carbs. And so I want to say what Randy was saying is true. And was feeling really tired when I felt like, why am I feeling tired? I lost weight and was feeling energetic. And I think I now better understand. So I'm going to back off my exercise and trust that fat burn's going to come in some other way here. So
that's true, Mike. Yeah. Well, thank goodness you were doing walking, because that's about as mild as you can get. So that's good. I would say you don't have to completely cut out walking, but at least it sounds like maybe with how much you were doing it, cut your time in half at least, and connect with Randy. I know he's your help.
I was going about an hour and 15 minutes a day. And
yeah, you don't need to do that much.
3 to 3.5.
That's great in maintenance if you want to, but right now you don't need to do that.
Okay.
Awesome.
Anyway, that's what I wanted to pass on. My wife lost 11 pounds, so she was happy too. So that's great.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. I love to hear those lives being changed and the things that we learn. But yeah, I love what Mike said about just realizing that. And that reminds me of the importance of why we get on here, just to give each other information and to learn about these things so that we really make those habit changes. So cool. Who else? Who else is having a rock in January?
So this is my first week was yesterday. We just finished, and the reason I started on the program is that I had surgery, and I am an exerciser, and I feel like I've been kind of a slave to exercise. I exercise a lot, almost every day a week, and was really concerned that I would gain weight, having to take 6 to 8 weeks away from exercising on top of the exercise or the weight gain through the holidays. And so perfect timing. The nurse that wheeled me out was an old friend of mine, and I was like, wow, what are you doing? You look great. And I thought she'd tell me she had started cross-country skiing or something. And she said, no, she had started Take Shape for Life. Both my husband and I signed up, and it's been a great thing to just have peace of mind and be able to actually lose weight and educate myself on how to eat well. We actually went this weekend. We drove 1,000 miles and took a daughter to a gymnastics meet. And I didn't realize that every time we stop to get gas, I go into the convenience store and I get a big hunk or a bit of honey or some peanuts or some snacks.
Mm-hmm.
We were able to take our Take Shape for Life food and have any of that on the trip, and it felt really good to eat healthy and be healthy. And I'm down 7.5 pounds in a week, and my husband's down 8.5. So
Congrats, Audrey, and welcome on your first week. It's so awesome, seriously. And you must be feeling so much better too, even just on that trip, to not being that junk.
yes, absolutely.
So cool. And who's your health coach, Audrey?
Paula Holt.
Oh, well, you know, she's great. So you're in good hands.
Fabulous. Yes.
Perfect.
My best friend Dawn just started today, and so she's
Cool.
on the call as well. So yay, Dawn!
That's so awesome that you invited her in to do it with you, because we find that when clients bring friends in, it's so powerful, because all of a sudden the people you get together with or your coworkers, like, they're bringing healthy things too, and it's not just you. And that's so nice. And you can either coach them or your health coach can coach them, whatever you guys want. So it's really, really neat. Awesome. Who else? Love these.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hello. Who is there?
Sherry Pogue from Geneva,
Hi, Sherry.
Indiana.
Hello.
I started on program April 27th of 2015, and I am down 112 pounds. I
Wow.
was pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, no longer pre-diabetic, and off my blood pressure pills, and I feel great.
Oh,
Couldn't be happier. This is an amazing program. I love it.
oh my
And
gosh.
plus, I have not really exercised hardly at all either. So you can lose weight without exercising.
Oh my gosh, yes, for sure. Great thing to add in once you're in healthy maintenance. But yeah, oh my gosh, Sherry, congratulations. That's amazing. Are you on Facebook? Have you made a before and after and set it as your profile?
Yes, I just posted another one today, an updated one. So
Okay, cool. That's
and
so cool.
I think Paul Steenberg shared it on Get Healthy and Thrive, so it's on there.
Awesome. You're impacting so many lives just by sharing your story. So thank you for doing that. How cool is that? And Paul is a great coach. Paul, I can't wait to see you
Yes.
go cool. So you're in good hands too with him. All right. Who else wants to hop off mute?
Megan, I'll share.
Please.
So my wonderful health coach, Katie, encouraged me to share with everyone that this week or yesterday, I officially hit 50 pounds lost since I started back in like September. And I'm getting closer and closer to my goal. Just have about 14 more pounds to go.
Yay. Emily, I'm so proud of you. That's so cool. A 50-pound mark is really awesome. You should be shouting that from the rooftops as well. That means a lot of things have changed, not just in your weight, but up here too, and in your habits. So that's really, really cool. Thank you so much for sharing.
Well, Megan, I'd like to share.
Please.
I had lost all my
my weight. Started last February through the middle of May, did really well, kept my weight off, and then this past December decided, I think I'd like another 10 pounds to go. And so I went back on the 5 and 1 January 2nd, and yesterday was 4 weeks, and I weighed in, and I weighed less now than I have weighed in probably 30 years. So
Lori, that's so cool.
yeah, it's feeling. I used to play my weight on my kids, baby weight, but my oldest is 26 and my youngest is 24. I can't. It is on me. So I feel really good about this.
This is so cool. And Lori, I have to brag on Lori because she just very shortly ago earned the incentive trip with Take Shape for Life and is going with some of us to San Diego. She can rock her swimsuit. We're 10 pounds down.
Yes. I'm very excited.
So, very, very cool.
I'm
excited for you too. Who else? I know that a lot of people are having breakthrough. For those of us in Indiana, because we were so honored that one of our mentors, Paula Holt, came, and just having that another person to talk to and someone that maybe a lot of you haven't met in person before. There were some really cool conversations that had come from that. If anybody would like to share more breakthroughs and health victories, I'd love you to come off mute. But if anybody would like to, that was at any of the events in Indiana this week or something like that, I would love for you to come and share if you had some strong takeaways. Share that with the group.
Yeah, Meg, well, I love to share. I absolutely loved Paula coming into town, as I know everyone who met her did too. Paula is a tremendous person, and we love her. And it was just really cool for the Indianapolis community to rally together. And I know we were saying this at the beginning before the recording started, but it has just created a spark in the community of people not just like wanting, but like demanding more in-person events. And so I'm so excited for. Yeah, and it's so fun, and it happened in Plymouth too. Like, people left and were like, I want to do this every month. This is the best. I love all these in-person events. And it's just magic happens when people get together in person. I love this. I love that we can be together via Zoom, but it's like a whole other level of camaraderie happens. And so if you didn't have the opportunity and you are in the area, I hope you come next time. But it's really cool to have that opportunity. So.
Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah, there's something magical about being together. So if you're a client or coach and you've been holding out on going to a healthy happy hour or get-togethers, man, it's so cool. So please join in and be a part of that with us. Brittany, I'm gonna ask you if you have anything to say because I hear Lauren.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I love it. I love it.
I didn't realize I was unmuted.
That's okay.
The in-person events were so awesome. Just the community, the in-person community was just, like you said, just took it, like Katie said, just takes it to a whole nother level. And like, I'll just share about, as far as like my weight loss, I had been kind of maintaining, I don't know if you call it plateau or maintaining for a couple weeks, and kind of frustrated with that, but I'm still doing the Nursing Moms program, so I didn't know if this was just going to be where I was going to stay until I was done nursing her. But I just feel like as I've gotten some more clients, and so I've been focusing more on helping them, just really surrounding myself with all kinds of health-related things, going to these in-person events. Then I weighed in and I had lost another 3 pounds, so I was really happy about that.
Yeah.
That was a breakthrough for me, definitely. So
yeah, absolutely. It's like what we surround ourselves in and the environments we create. We might not even realize the effect that they really have on us.
Yeah, I didn't expect that result, so that was really awesome.
That's super cool. Thank you for sharing that. Do we have, Paula, do we have any general announcements or anything that we want to share with the team while we have people on?
I do. That's me. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to, I guess I'll wrap up the call and we're ending with a couple of announcements. Number one, though, is actually some really exciting news. We are going to move our client support call from Sunday night to Monday night. So we know we've got a handful of people that are able to make it, and quite a few that because of church or like weekly meetings, they aren't able to. So we're going to try Mondays for a while and see how that goes. Same time. So for those of you who are health coaches, it will be finished up with health coach training before the leadership call. It'll just go in the same time, 5 o'clock for our client support encouragement time, 5:30 for health coach training, and then we'll be done by 6. So yeah, I think that's actually the biggest announcement. And I just want to say thank you so much to Randy for explaining that. I think even more succinctly, it gave me some great words for helping my clients explain it a little better. And because we can all get stuck on that mental spot of, if I eat less and exercise more, I'm going to lose weight. Whereas we can pop out of fat burn because we're into a starvation mode. So it's a great thing. So thank you everybody who shared tonight. I think we have about 1 minute. If somebody didn't get to share and want to pop themselves off mute, I would love to let you do that. Do not be shy. Okay, then we're just going to wrap it up. Please, if you're wanting to stay on for health